Life is happening at its own pace. Do not hurry, don't force. Be there as an observer, and slowly awakening will happen. Namaskar, friends. When we consider someone as our role model in our profession or field of expertise, we find ways to reach that person as we want to develop a good bond with him. And once we are able to do that, and that person sees our pure intent, he also gets ready to guide and serve us back in all possible ways. This way, a mutual relationship starts. In the context of knowing the real nature of the self, our teacher compares the soul with the king, to whom we aim to get closer. A man who expects to develop a good relationship with the king first recognizes the king, trusts him, and gradually tries to access him. He does whatever it takes to reach the king, and once reached, he leaves no stone unturned to please the king. He serves him with the best available resources, and once the king sees his efforts, even he extends his hand to transform that ordinary man. Similarly, in order to attain spiritual wisdom, peace, and eventually emancipation, the seeker of the truth must consider the soul as the king. The Acharya says, in the entire universe, first the seeker must recognize his unique soul and have trust in its individual journey that is special, important, and exclusive. Once he realizes and is sure that I am the pure soul, he must try to access that peaceful essence within. And when he is able to approach that peaceful realm of the soul, just like the king, the soul expands and guides his worldly life. This sutra is helpful for those who are trying to be spiritual but cannot feel focused and mindful. Through our life experiences, many of us may admit with surety that we are not only our physical appearance. We are much more than we think, do, or live for. Each of us has a hidden genius who is awakened when we are spiritually aligned. This brilliance makes one wise to see things differently and prepares one to have a surrendered and more accepting approach towards life. And when I say surrendered, do not take it as lazy, as many people have started taking surrender as laziness. Real surrender towards life means dealing with an adverse situation with the best possible intellect, resources, and intent, and accepting whatever happens afterwards gracefully. One may also get confused about how one is different from one's soul. We should not forget that we are studying the text based on the nature of the pure soul. In other words, it can also be called soul science, where we are attempting to describe that essence through the medium of words, which is a matter of realization. As we further study soul science, we will learn how we are not only different from our physical appearance but also separate. For example, all of us either have lost someone near or have seen a dead body. Let us ask ourselves, if the person we lost was only his physical body, then what was that who left it and caused its demise? Something certainly occupies one's whole body, which when leaves, the body becomes dead. Let's leave it up to ourselves for further contemplation. However, in our ancient wisdom, the example of a seed filled with oil has been given by spiritual masters to describe the different nature of the body and the soul. Indian philosophers said, just like the oil occupies every bit of the seed, the soul resides in every bit of the body. The oil is always separate from the seed, and so does the soul from the body. However, for a spiritually ignorant being, they are always one. Phew, heavy stuff, isn't it? Well, for me too. However, let's ask ourselves a few questions. First, whatever we have studied today, does it make sense? It is okay if it doesn't for anyone. Remember, we are free to believe what we think. Second, based on logic, can we prove this information wrong? Look around and observe. At each step of studying this philosophical text, we must remember that the teacher is not imposing anything on us. He is only imparting knowledge about the self which has experienced by him. We are not supposed to believe it until we experience it on our own. However, if we really want to know the reality, we will keep it with us and will keep testing it during the experiences of our lives. Now let us move ahead towards the meditation based upon today's lesson. Close your eyes and listen and contemplate over this. I am an ordinary person on the way to becoming extraordinary by accessing my real essence, my soul. I am that genius who can deal with any adversity of life with my wisdom. I am much beyond my physical appearance, my emotions, my dilemmas, and my choices. I willfully choose to travel from ignorance to the right knowledge. I am the absolute soul who knows it all. Whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes. In the end, let us revise today's talk with 5 key takeaways. 1. There is a possibility of accessing the consciousness, and every one of us can realize the pure self. 2. The soul is that sovereign king whom we want to serve with the purest of intent, and once we are able to make a good relationship with it, we can roam around in the peaceful kingdom of the soul. And it will also start expressing itself through us in the form of a genius who knows how to move ahead in life. 3. We cannot force self-realization, hence we need to be patient. The key to realizing the self is here, at this moment. When we are ready, we will be able to access it. 4. Consciousness is that universal reality which is the same for each being, as each being is a manifestation of it. 5. The text we are studying is making us equipped with a certain kind of knowledge. We are free to believe what we feel is right. We may keep this knowledge with us until we test it and experience it ourselves. On this note, friends, I take your leave. Take care and goodbye.